Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to AFL NT's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season from Gardens Oval tonight in Darwin. We're on Larrakia country. This evening, we'll see the Wanderers and St Mary's take on each other for Friday night footy under lights here at Gardens. Lockie Humphrey, joined by Will Zwar. Will, how are you this evening?
Yeah, very good. I think we've got a good night ahead of us. Looking at the where these guys sit on the ladder, it's second versus about six, and you think it's probably going to be relatively easy picking for St Mary's, but in the wet weather up here, you never know. And sounds like there's a bit of an inkling that Wanderers might be with a chance. I'm pretty firm that St Mary's will be a strong side tonight. Obviously, they're probably a bit of the sleeping giant, second seed. Only team who's knocked off that top side, Southern Districts. But, I think since they got their first win a few weeks ago, Wanderers have also been pretty handy outfit.
Yeah, that's right. Laid out tonight is Dylan Lant, the two-time Nicholas medalist for St Mary's. Last time St Mary's played at Gardens Oval was their only loss of the year to Waratahs. That in a really tight affair a few weeks ago, and the Wanderers have lost last week in their last three games, being decided by 18 points. A tough loss last week to Waratah. However, I think they've made a switch. It started a few weeks ago, and I think that grit and that heart that they've shown is starting to really wear off on a few. So we just see the players gather in a circle for no more round, which is promoting an end to domestic violence here in the NT and in Australia. So it's good that the players are getting around that. The umpires wearing the orange socks, and throughout this weekend we'll see teams getting in circles and trying to stand this out, which is something that we want to see. Anyway, Will, who are you looking at tonight to get the ball rolling for either side?
I think Nick Yaron's form's been pretty good. Just saw him slip off the screen there, but I think he thrives in these wet conditions as much as anyone in this competition. So I think for St Mary's, who are missing Dill Land, as we said, he could be one who potentially rolls through the middle a little bit as well. Jackson Calder didn't have the best start to the season, but he's certainly come good. I think last time these sides played, he had a day out, might have kicked 7 goals against him. But yeah, so far for the season, he's kicked 31 goals. So, it's an average of just under 4 per game. Expect him to hopefully have the kicking boots on for St Mary's sake tonight, but it is wet, so you never know how those conditions are going to wreak havoc on the field. Interesting, you mentioned that St Mary's only losses come here tonight, as Wanderers have also played here once, and they got up last time, so if that's anything to go by, it could be a potential upset brewing for Wanderers against St Mary's. Should be a good night ahead. What are your thoughts on the game ahead?
Yeah, look, I think the Wanderers are in with a chance. I know the ladder might say different, but the last few weeks have proven that they can take it up with the big boys in this comp, and a St Mary's side that might just think they're going to roll over easily this week might think lesser of the Wanderers. Last time they played here in round 5 against each other, St Mary's defeated the Wanderers by 54 points. That was at TIO. Truan kicked 2 in that game, and as you mentioned, Calder had 6 for St Mary's. So the Wanderers will be looking to turn that around tonight. I'm looking at Jack Truan. He kicked 4 last time he played here at Gardens Oval against the Buffaloes. Only had the 1 touch last week, so he'll be looking to bounce back. I'm sure he will tonight, as we're about to get underway here at Gardens Oval.
That match last time as well, 78 points the margin in favour of St Mary's. So if it is a win, it'll be a remarkable at least 78-point, 13-goal turnaround for the Wanderers. They're kicking to left of screen tonight, St Mary's to the right. Looks like Big Max Johnson, who's been pretty good in their ruck for them, will go up against Sam Jackson back in the side for St Mary's. Gets the first tap down. Now gets down to Crofts, who was best on ground last time Wanderers played here at Gardens Oval. We'll see if he likes the ground tonight as well. Quick and early boundary throw in on that far flank underneath the old Gardens scoreboard.
A little bit of weather around this afternoon. Little trickle of rain. Shouldn't affect them too much. But the ground's held up all right. The ball's going to be thrown back in.
Jackson, I think he got hands to that one again there, now at ground level, and comes out to White. Goes inside 50. Good set of hands there, and an early mark in the forward 50 goes to Phillips. He'll go back. He didn't take a second look. He'll go back and have a shot on goal. Confident he'll boot it. Just inside the 50 there now. 45-degree angle, and in a minute, Wanderers would have an unlikely start ahead of their rival St Mary's. Strolls in now, kicks it. Umpire made to work, just through for a behind, but on the board early, Muck-Mucks.
Would have been a good start for the Wanderers. They need to take all the opportunities they can get tonight.
Long will take the kick-outs. Will second-guess himself there. We'll go a short one over the top for Jack Lance. Spoiled there by Truan. Kicked a bag last time he played on this ground as well. One to watch at Gardens. The handball over the top to Grant. Made him a bit too close to boundary line. He's just pushed over there. And again, we'll have a boundary throw. And Wanderers have worked it forward.
Samuel Jackson in the ruck for St Mary's. Ball's going to come down. Looking for someone to get free. Come through Phillips. Did well. They're going to work it by hand. Sinclair gave the handball back. Wanderers are going to work it out here. Sonny Smiler's got the ball. Rising Star Nom.
This week's Rising Star played very well last week against Waratah. Good kick. Finds Davin Pereira. He takes a mark just a few metres out from goals. He kicks. I think he kicked the first one here in that Unulinga Cup match a few weeks back as well. So the same players who played well that night, well, maybe they have a bit of a thing for Gardens Oval. They like playing here, and could be an unlikely home ground or an unlikely ground advantage.
Yeah, Ferreri's very experienced. Seen a lot of things here in the NT. Sandful and Needful experience as he comes in to get the Wanderers first. That's the start they want. Muck-Mucks get the first of the night here at Gardens Oval. Comes through Davin Ferrer. That's the start they would have wanted, Will.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably, or myself included, but a lot of people thought that this is probably going to be St Mary's game. But Wanderers have come out to show they're here to play with an early goal, 3 minutes in. Saints have not entered their forward half of the ground yet.
No, they haven't, and it's a big game tonight for the Wanderers. They have Nightcliff next week, so they'll want to win going into that Christmas bye.
Back in the middle now. Johnson paddles it down. Now with Leggett, another player who since coming up has been pretty good in the side. Snap forward, one-on-one in the goal square. We'll go past them, through for a goal straight away. And it's a goal there. I think that's gone to Sinclair. Perla, and within about 30 seconds, they've kicked their second.
That's the start. They wanted the Muck-Mucks. If you ask them how badly they want to kick the first two, I'd say they'd want it pretty bad, and they've got the first two early ones. We know St Mary's a bit of a slow starters. We're actually down at quarter time last week to the Buffaloes. They kicked the last 17 out of 18 in that game to storm home, but they were down at quarter time, and quick start for the Muck-Mucks here. Certainly going to put them on the back foot early. Jack Sinclair, he's been in great form, one of the best this year for the Muck-Mucks, so he'd be really happy to get on the board early.
Handy to get the jump in. What could be a wet night as well. Once that rain comes in, you want to be in a handy position, already 13 points up. Now, bullocking through there. And St Mary's, they launch forward, full forward, one out. Calder slipped through his hands at the back, now paddled through and goes over the boundary line. Very tight there.
Yeah, as I mentioned at the start of the game, Dylan Lant, the champ, laid out wrist injury, we believe, which we know he's carried for a little while, but it's going to put a fair dent in their side, the skipper.
Just got word as well that his currently his right hand is heavily bandaged, as you said, so he's here tonight, but obviously not out. You wonder if potentially they've looked at that. We don't know, obviously, how serious the injuries are, but do you think potentially Lockie, the coaches, have looked at Wanderers and thought, you know what, big game against TUE next week, let's see what our troops can do while he mends?
I think they have. It's hard to say. You don't want to put it on the coaches.
No, I don't want to
speculate
too much.
They're not backing the Wanderers, but yeah, it certainly seems like they're going in a bit light tonight. The Wanderers taking advantage of it early as the ball's going to go up to the half-forward flank. It's going to be out of bounds. Throw in. All the play with the Muck-Mucks early here. But yeah, we know how important he is to this St Mary's side. Gets him going in the middle. Is able to go back and forward. Really does everything around the ground, so it's going to be up to the other leaders in this St Mary's side to step up. The likes of Jack Lant, the brother. Here he is on cue.
Kicks it long, takes a bounce very tight to the boundary line, rolls over, and we saw Sinclair kick that second goal of the night. Looks like Kieran Parnell's got the job on him.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Sinclair's been huge this year, one of the best with Jackson East out. He's had to step up. Only other 10 touches last week, probably one of his lesser games, but he was in their best and kicked the winner a fortnight ago against Pint, so there's someone they've definitely got to look to stop as he's in and around it again early. Leggett's in there too. So is Johnson forking it out. Taylor kicked up in the air. Land sits under it. He went back and got it. Got the fend off. Got tackled straight away. Wanderers matching them around the contest early. A lot of stoppages here at Gardens Oval. Smaller ground, so expect the ball to be in the clinches a lot more.
Yeah, ball been coming very wide as we've seen a few boundary throw-ins already. Maybe up to our 5th. And still really, St Mary's have barely gotten inside their forward half, maybe just the 2 times. Wanderers have had about 6 inside 50s already for those 2 goals. Jack Lant, again, probably the biggest presence so far on the ground for St Mary's tonight. Good kick forward, finds McGrath. Kicked a very handy bag last week. Almost playing as that under the radar forward. Rolls onto his left if you don't mind. Hooks it though and through. Doesn't make the distance. A lot of numbers there in Wanderers jumpers. Not the option. That kick goes out on the full near the apex of the 50. It's been touched, in fact, so a boundary throw in again inside forward 50. St Mary's maybe not as aggressive as you would have expected to start this one, Lockie.
Yeah, Wanderers would be looking to bring the pressure on early. That's what they've done. Take it up to the champs early on. Let them know that they're not going to have it all their way tonight. But yeah, St Mary's, we know the talent and experience. They'll be looking to bounce back from those first 2 goals as they're going to try and lock it in side 50 here. It's going to be thrown up.
Good tussle for the ball. And you're right, Wanderers definitely have come here to play, show them that there are no easy beats. Interestingly as well, Lockie, you divide the league into 2, the top 5 and the bottom 4. No one from that bottom 4 is yet to beat the top 5. So potentially that could be, tonight could be the occasion for that, with Wanderers starting very well. Now comes out here with Ted Castle. Straightens up, kicks towards goal, looking very good, and that one will sneak home for a goal. Saints get there first on the board through Bowie Ted Castle.
That is good, as you'll see from Bowie Ted Castle. Oozing class there, the kid. Was able to step around one and put it through on the right boot from 45 out. Fantastic goal, and they get their first of the night, St Mary's. Was able to lock it inside there, forward 50, build a bit of pressure, and that's what they can do. Bowie Ted Castle, the young gun. Spent some time training with Richmond's AFL side and also played in their VFL side, so he's got class and talent all on display there, and they'll be happy to get their first on the board.
Be interesting to see Kobe Hodges' role tonight. Been thrown in the middle as well. Parnell and Yaron alongside him, along with the ruck, and for the Mucks, it's Sinclair and Crofts, along with the ruck Johnson. And there at the back, Piercy, who pretty handy last week, is for them as well. Kicked a couple of goals against the informed Waratah side. Johnson gets that one down. Sinclair under hot pursuit, but works it forward. Hands can't take the mark from St Mary's, and here comes Truan. Snap on goal. Oh, that one will curl back if you don't mind.
What a sausage! Truan, what a snap from 40 out. Said he was down last week, only the 1 touch. His first of the night's a beauty. Mucks get their third. It came from a Jack Truan special.
You did mention, Lockie, as well. St Mary's are quite... Oh, they've been a bit slower to start games recently. Last week, Jared Stokes kicked, I think, 3 of the first 4 goals of the match, let alone for the Buffs. Got out to a bit of an early lead. From there, St Mary's absolutely rolled them. I think it might have been something like 10 goals in a row before Buffs got their next one. And, yeah, for the rest of the match, it was all St Mary's. So, be interesting to see how long it takes them to flick the switch tonight, if at all, given the dominance of Wanderers so far early in this one. Wrapped up there was Leggett. Umpire calls for a ball up, though.
What a display we've seen so far. Well, 10 minutes in this game and 2 ripping goals, each from Ted Castle and Truan. Expect some high-class quality on tonight as St Mary's go forward. Calder's the target. Can he outmuscle his opponent? Good little wrestle down there. We still get it back. Dangerous on the ground. Got the handball over the top.
Oh.
Lamb put it through.
Instant reply. Exactly what St Mary's needed. Their big guns working together. And Lant, as we said, probably one of the more dominant players so far tonight. Probably the only player to register a more than one disposal in those first few minutes. A few more players now getting involved, and earns himself a goal off some pretty handy work from the big fella Jackson Calder.
Had 23 touches last week, Jack Land, should I say. 23 touches, 2 goals, 3. So he can get forward and kick him, and much of the same on that occasion. They're going to need plenty out of him tonight. He's positioned himself down on half forward, so he'll be a target. Roving at Calder's feet, who was excellent there, was able to outmuscle his opponent and give the handball off.
Back in the middle now. Jackson gets the hands down. Leggett winning a fair bit of ball in the middle there. Gets some space and just throws it on the boot. High one out wide. Can't be knocked there by Smiler. And Long gets a kick down the line. Very well spotted there. Found his man uncontested. Rolls around. Absolute bullet into the forward pocket. Didn't really have a target in mind. Calder has to do the work at ground level. Bounces off his opponent's feet. In fact, it goes out on the full there. I think that might be against Calvin. So Calder on a tight angle. Had a quick glance inside. And another one. Looks like he'll potentially have a shot on goal.
Really unlucky there from Riley Calvin. Had him covered and was happy to see the boundary line accidentally kicked it over. And Jackson Calder, he doesn't miss out. Beautiful snap from the pocket, and he gets his first of the night.
Yeah, more or less level the score. Just the 1 point advantage going Wanderers' way as we hit the 13-minute mark here at Gardens Oval. And just a reminder, you're watching TIO's coverage of the NTFL 2024-25 Premiership season. Round 10 action. First game of the... the first double-up game, I should say. I'm not sure the technical term for it, Lockie, but the first game after the halfway point of the season. You know, St Mary's did a job on these guys last time they played, but looks pretty even in the early stages of this one.
Yeah, it is, and halfway through the season, things start to change when we get back after Christmas, and games like this are really important. Ball's going to go up. Jackson will do the work again.
It's been really good in there tonight, Jackson. Gives away a free kick there. Going the way of Maraka. In fact, it will go to St Mary's. Kent with the ball in hand. Goes long. Not really sure if that was the option there either. Oh, got to be careful not to give away a 50. As the player with ball in hand just almost runs into Yaron, maybe going for a play. Goes sideways now, looking for Leggett. Just directing play ahead of him. Now he'll go long, looking for the big fella Johnson. Very wide, had 2 to beat. Ball comes off hands and over the boundary line.
Massive unit, Maxie Johnson. He's going to use all of that size tonight. Towers over anyone else out there, and he's going to try to assert as much dominance as he can over the smaller Jackson, you could say. Thrown in, neutral side on the wing. Johnson gets it down. Handball was over to Sinclair. Did well. Sinclair just had to kick it inside. Leggett trailing back. He fumbled. St Mary's get it back. Ball's going to go out wide.
Foot race there, and looks like the defender in Dos Santos will win a free kick out of it. Ethan Bush just caught him a bit high there in the tackle. Dos Santos will push it further down the field, but had 2 to beat. Again, a few questionable decisions here from both sides in the last few passages from the Wanderers. That one goes over the top. We'll get to Motlop. Paddles it on. Ferreira trying to keep it moving forward too. Now dives on it very close to the boundary line, wrapped up. Umpire will call for a free kick going St Mary's way, holding the ball.
Probably a little bit poor there from Ferreira. Seems like every time the Wanderers have gone inside 50, they've been able to score, and if they were able to just get a stoppage there and reset, you'd think they'd have another chance, but St Mary's are going to work it out by hand. Kick up the line, we'll find Crisp. It was fantastic last week for the Saints. Kicks a good one too. They're going to work it out now through Long. He'll go up the line in the Calder direction. Calvin did well. Good matchup, exciting matchup. Those two will go head-to-head all night.
Yeah, and what we've seen with Jackson Calder this year as well is he can bounce back pretty well from these. So Calvin's really got to keep his wits about him. It'll be a bit of a mental game for him tonight. I think we've seen Calder well beaten in a few games this year, and then the last quarter just pull on the 2 or 3 goals he needs and put his side right back in front. So, yeah, could be in for a big night. Riley Calvin needs to keep his wits about him for the whole 80 minutes ahead of him. Tackled there by Vallejo. Umpire calls play on. Paddled through the feet of Smiler. Then in Parnell's hands, spills out again. Wet football. Sinclair gets a handball out now. Looking for Austin. Austin might get it back. Overruns Ferreira though. Ferreira gets boot to ball just the nick of time, but umpire pings him for holding the ball. We'll come back now to Dom Grant. Has a short option. We'll go out to him there. Oh, played on when he probably shouldn't have, Kieran Parnell, but got hands away just in time to Tui. He pushes it down to Kent off the mark. Wanted to move it quick, looking there for Bush. Mark taken. Short, sharp one over the top would be just on his measure, you'd think here. Looks like a relatively... Oh, there's a little bit of a bluster out there, but nothing too strong. If he can time it right, might have the legs in it. Pushes up to the paint. Very tight to the top of the square, but won't make the distance. Now McGrath wrapped up by Taylor. 15 metres out, slight angle. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Yeah, never looked like he had the trip from there, Bush. Probably should have just put it to the top of the goal square, but they'll get a stoppage nonetheless. Johnson on the hit out.
Then worked out here, Motlop, and now finds itself in the hands of Sinclair. Had McGrath in pursuit, but gets a kick away in time. Goes through, hands at the back of the pack. Saints just have the numbers. O'Brien gets boot to ball, dribbles it forward. Picked up there by Sinclair again. And then worked inside 50. McGrath almost manhandled by Johnson. Then gets a handball back through traffic. Now with Horrigan, skies it. There's been a whistle blown and a free kick will go the way of the Wanderers downfield. Ferreira. Now work down. Find itself in Smiler's hands. If he can get to it, he can't. O'Brien, he kicks it forward. Only as far, though, as White. And he goes inside 50 for an easy mark to Piercy. And he, you'd think, would line up from about 45 metres out.
So Marys have lifted a little bit. Their pressure around the ball in the last 10 minutes certainly been better than their first 10. And starting to reap rewards. Whoever Wanderers, every time they go inside 50, they look really dangerous. And Jeremy Piercy here, opportunity from 45 metres out. Take a good kick. He's got it in him. Goes low and hard to the top of the goal square. Won't make the trip, and it's going to be touched through from behind. Wanderers in front by 2 points. 19 minutes gone in this first quarter.
They'd want to hold on to it. It's not much, it's just a 2-point lead, and that can be obviously very easily whittled down. But any lead they can take over their opponents, just get that mental edge in quarter time, would be handy for Aaron Motlop and his men. Now with Long, looks to cross, 2-on-1, he had to work hard Vallejo there, but ultimately was never really given a sniff. Put on a good tackle, pings his opponent for holding the ball. Is beaten 2 there, if you don't mind. Pushes down the line to Yaron. Has to turn his opponent inside out, and that's a great tackle there from the Muck skipper, Mitchie Taylor. Beautiful tackle from Taylor, setting the tone early. It's the captain covering his mate's mistakes down the ground.
He was able to put a big hit on Yaron, set an example, and he did it on that occasion.
Johnson on Jackson. In fact, it's not Jackson there. It's Davies. Now Motlop almost picked it up on his way through. Taylor diving again. Inspiration at the moment. Now with Smiler. Back through traffic. Lost it. Then try to paddle it forward. Now Mitch Musgrove picks it up. Tight in the pocket. Will drill it to the top of the square. It was on target, but a great defensive effort there from Calvin. Through for a behind.
Musgrove almost kicked a classic from the pocket. The pressure coming from the Saints is electric so far. Making the Wanderers work for every single kick. Calvin's going to take the kick out now. Long down the line.
Oh, good hands from Johnson, although it spills out in the wet weather. no one can take it easy. Umpire calls for a ball up. In fact, it'll be a free kick, push there. Going the way again of Davies. Has an option on the far pocket. Instead, he'll go deep to Calder, the spearhead. Had two to beat, and ultimately the forehands got to it first, paddled it out of ground.
Yeah, and that's what the Wanderers would want. They'd want the ball coming into a big pack, making Calder work extra hard for it with a few men on him instead of him hitting up and being one out. They've been good on him early. But he looks to be dangerous in these sort of situations. He's able to shark it out.
Johnson, front of the pack, gets hands to it first. Ball skied outside 50 for St Mary's. And then boot to ball, finds itself in Lance hands, then goes forward to Ted Castle, very tight. Will go across the face, Calder the target, a bit too wide. Bounces just inside the field of play. And Lockie, I've just been gotten by a Mozzie there, so there's probably a few out there. Expect to see a few slaps on the coverage as well from players just trying to get rid of the Mozzie mayhem that we've had the last few weeks up here in the top end.
A few Skeetos around up here in Darwin. Also saw just a bit of lightning out in the distance, Will, over near the airport, so hopefully that doesn't find us here at Gardens Oval. Wind is fairly neutral, rain staying away for now.
Another little flash there, just off your screen. Calder, or Lant, he crumbs it at the bottom of the pack, snaps towards goal, and it's online. Through for a ripper. St Mary's take the lead for the first time tonight. 22 and a half minutes into this first quarter. Lant, he kicks his second.
Yeah, Jack Lant gets his second of the night. He said he has to step up, and he has so far. So dangerous when he goes down forward, and they need to be able to get a few bodies on him, because when there's a stoppage and a clearance, he's so dangerous. And St Mary's, after getting the first two kicked against them, they've kicked four, and they get the lead for the first time tonight. Almost 23 minutes gone in this first quarter.
A bit easier for the audience as well, but if we call out tonight, it will be Jack Dillon out with a very, very heavily bandaged hand. Not playing tonight. Unsure if it's a serious injury, but it looks like they've had to invest in a bit of bandaged wrapping there down at St Mary's to cover that one. Johnson gets fist to ball first. Leggett wrapped up. He's been pretty good tonight. A lot of first ball work off the ruck. They're trying to get it again. Handball will pop out, then gets to Hodges, but spills through his hands. Bit of pressure on him now through. Crofts can break away. Tight angle, short one will bounce off the ground from Ferreira. Now over the top there, Phillips. Ferreira again trying to do the work at ground level. Now without the ball, very tight to the boundary line. Will find itself in no man's land.
Will, I just wonder if that kick from Crofts is better going to the top of the goal square and trying to lock it in deep and pinpoint a little 15-metre chiseler.
Yeah, look, I think you're probably right there. I think the option was definitely on, but he just misfired with the kick. And if you know, in these sort of conditions where you can be a bit more prone to misfiring, you are probably better that longer option to a one-on-one in the square. Good smother though. Wanderers will try and keep it in there forward 50 while they can. And there'll be a free kick going their way. So it'll be Tyson White, who's been a big part of their revival the last few weeks, Lockie. He'll have a shot on goal.
Yeah, he will. Spent a bit of time in the sandful. Tyson White, like Mux Jr., over 100 games for the Wanderers, and we'll be looking to put through their fourth of the night, put them back in front with time ticking away in this first quarter. Once again, it's going to take a good kick from 40 metres out.
In here comes Tyson White. Very late in this one. Can he reclaim the lead for the Muck-Mucks? Looks like it. Umpire barely moves. They move out to 4-26, leading St Mary's 4-1-25 on the eve of quarter time here, and they'd be very happy, the Wanderers and Aaron Motlop, with this start they've had. They've played once here already this year against the Buffs and had a good win, so maybe a bit of a home away from home for them.
Yeah, exactly right, and St Mary's have lost their only game that they played here, Will, so you never know. I'm backing them in tonight, and so far in this first quarter, they've looked really good. Motlop would be impressed with this first quarter. Every time they've gone inside 50, they've looked like they're a chance to score.
Winning it out of the middle as well, I think, particularly with Leggett and Sinclair, they're winning the ball first more often than not. Maybe St Mary's need to experiment with who they can get in there, who can win the ball. Maybe Jack Lant, not sure how big his tank is, but you'd think he'd be a quick fire option if they need to win a ball from the contest. Just unsure how long he can last. Piercy, he kicks it inside 50 again instantly for the Wanderers, and just being really strong up there with their offensive pressure as well. Ferreira, he's been really good the last few weeks too.
Yeah, he has. Veteran for the Wanderers. As the siren goes to finish this first quarter here at Gardens Oval, and an exciting first quarter it was. Wanderers kicking the first two, St Mary's answering back with a few really impressive goals. Your goal kickers so far, Truan, Sinclair, White and Ferreira, all singles for the Wanderers. And for St Mary's, it was Jack Lamb with 2, Calder and Ted Castle getting singles as well for them. But, Will, early on, it's proving to be a good clash.
Yeah, absolutely. With just 1 point in it. Be interesting to see who can pick it up where they left it off in this second quarter. We'll be back after this quarter time break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back here to Gardens Oval. Round 10 action of the TIO NTFL 2024-25 season. St Mary's versus the Wanderers, and it's the Wanderers with an unlikely 1-point lead here going into the second quarter. 4-2-26. They lead St Mary's 4-1-25, and the Wanderers arguably had the better of it in that first quarter. Could potentially be deserving of a slightly higher margin in their favour going into this second quarter. Lockie Humphrey is with me on Will's Rail. Lockie, what do you make of the first quarter?
Yeah, really interesting. The Wanderers came out really quick and hard, which we expected them to do. Got on the board early, but then St Mary's answered, which you expect nothing less from the champs. And from there, it was seesawing goal-to-goal action. So, exciting footy. It's probably not what pundits would have expected. Wanderers in front at quarter time. However, they look like they're up to the challenge tonight, Will, and this quarter's going to be really telling in seeing who can go forward.
Yeah, you're right. I think, look, the thing that's intriguing from my perspective is Wanderers looks like they're playing as well as they've played all year. St Mary's not so much. So if St Mary's can click into gear, we know that they've got a lot more than what they've showed in the first quarter. It's just how long the Wanderers can tame the beast and maintain control of this game as they've had a majority of going in to the second quarter. Johnson, he gets the first hit out, gets it to himself, then spills out, comes off his knees. Umpire will call for holding the ball, going St Mary's way. Jack Lant with 2 goals finds himself starting in the middle, as we said he might in that first quarter. Finds a man all by himself, and O'Brien, who's pushed up the ground on the near side wing. And he goes to Long, who does as he did. He's got another option further wide if he wants there. Will break away, or has found himself in a bit of trouble. 3 to beat. Gets it over the top now, and then a handball inboard. St Mary's making a meal of this. Vallejo, the target of that from Tui. Umpire will call for a ball up just inside 50 for St Mary's. They worked it forward their lock, but they made a meal of it, didn't they? Yeah, really poor from Jacob Long. Had the option on short. Could have gone long if he wanted, and kind of decided to do neither. Stuck in no man's land, and they're still going to be able to have a stoppage here, right on 50. Opportunity to get it in long. Wanderers set up well. Johnson tried to get hands to it, picks it up at ground level instead, then wrapped up with it. Spills forward by Yaron. Musgrove wrapped up. Umpire will call for a ball up, and again, just edging it a little bit closer. St Mary's, they're dangerous in this position. We saw Jack Lant take one from a similar position in that first quarter, straight off the hands of the ruck, but there'll be a free kick going the way of Jade McGrath. Yeah, Billy Cross there just edging over the shoulder, and he's able to give Jade McGrath his first chance of the night. Handy bag last week with 5, and he's been a really big inclusion. Played a few games in the reserves to start the year, but he's got some AFL experience with the Lions. He's got a chance here. 30 out, slide angle, shouldn't bother him. Doesn't. Win guides at home. St Mary's get the first of the second quarter. Put themselves up by 5 points. 5-1-31. Leading the Wanderers 4-2-26. 2 minutes in here at Gardens Oval. Yeah, they're under a lot of pressure, the Wanderers, when it's stuck in St Mary's 50. So many St Mary's players were able to get dangerous, and McGrath on that occasion was the exact same. So they've got to look out for that. Just a quick note as well, as you can see, the umpire's wearing orange socks tonight. That's in support of the No More campaign. No More round is this weekend in the NTFL, and the NTFL commits to helping raise awareness for domestic and family violence up here. For more information, you can head to the No More campaign at nomore.org.au. Great initiative, another great initiative that the NTFL gets around. Ball comes down now. Lant almost taken high there. He gets boots the ball, works forward. Vallejo tried to pick it up on his way through. Just overran it. We'll end up with it now. Under pressure, though. It looks like we might have had a jumper change out there. Number 41 not on our team sheets, but as you can see, laying a big, strong tackle now. Hits the deck. And then just hacked out of there. But the umpire will call for a ball up.
Ball's going to be thrown up here on the wing. Jack Lant playing in the middle. Likes to go in the guts for about 5 or 10. Run as much as he can and then rest forward. Crofts is taken high. We'll get a free kick and Wanderers will get an opportunity. They've got men streaming to the far side if they want to switch the play. DeSantos is on. Billy Crofts is just going to slow it down. Try to pick off something in the middle. Went to Johnson. 3-on-1. It was going to always be a tough kick. Too much for him on that occasion. Lant.
Saints are away on that far side now.
Ted Castle got it over the far side. Musgrove juggled the mark and they got a chance here. On short is Yaron.
Mitch Taylor again putting on some good pressure, having a really good night down there. Yaron just gets a handball away. Taylor another big strong tackle and Dos Santos with the Shepherd. Wanderers, if they're a different outfit compared to what we saw in the first month of the season, aren't they, Lockie? They're just, they still don't have those big names, but they've just added a little bit more grunt to their game, haven't they? Yeah,
they have, and well, all considering they've done it without their star in the first month, which was Jackson East. He was dominating and was the talk of the comp for the first month. But since he's gone out, it's almost like the Wanderers have gotten better, and they just narrowly went down to Waratah last week. A few really gallant wins, and they're taking it up to the champs early here in this one.
The St Mary's free kick. No, it'll be a St Mary's free kick just behind, or just on the wing there, that far side here at Gardens Oval. Good mark in that back line there going to Horrigan. Now pushes it well wide but finds Ferreira. They look to make the switch now. Long way from home, Ferreira. Good kick, finds a target there in Maraka. Plays on, handball over the top. Maybe puts Leggett under pressure. Leggett then puts his teammate Calvin under even more pressure. Saints very bullish there, earn themselves a free kick through Kent.
Yeah, Riley Calvin had nowhere to go. Sometimes you've just got to get it forward on the boot. Try to take on 2 tackles, it's never going to work. And St Mary's get it back. Pressure's been immense.
With Calvin up the ground, looks like Lockie Horrigan's been moved on to Jackson Calder at fullback. Good fly in from the side there from Davies. Now comes out to Sinclair. Wanderers working forward again. Phillips keeps it in front of him, then gets it up to Maraka. Maraka back through traffic. Short one out wide to Leggett. And a late hit means there'll be a free kick going the Wanderers' way. Comes back, kicks it to the fat side, though a bit too far away there from Motlop. And with pace there was flagged, but just slipped over in the mud. Now comes back to Brenton Motlop, snap to the top of the square, comes off hands at the back, under a lot of pressure. St Mary's kick it well wide. It'll bounce out of bounds. How the umpire call this one? Boundary throw in. No ill intent there, but you never know how they're going to set the tone with those ones in matches.
Yeah, umpires have been good so far, letting it go when it's there. That's what you want to see. Fast-flowing footy in this second quarter to start. Ball's going to be hit out. Sinclair tried to run onto it, but that kick's going to be kicked right out of bounds there from Dominic Grant. It's going to go straight back to the Wanderers.
Yeah, that one's beaten the fence as well. No doubt about that one, unfortunately. Dom Grant just getting his angles wrong there. You could see he had the right idea, but as we say, just probably didn't quite turn far enough in the contest, and it's gone exactly where he kicked it, out of bounds on the full.
He shanked it well. It was an absolute shank.
Absolute shanker. Here's Leggett from the apex of the 50. Across the face, top of the square. Hands over the top. Numbers at ground level. Motlop putting his body on top of it as well. Umpire will call for a ball up.
Huge opportunity here for the Muck Mucks. A few stoppages inside 50. If they can lock it in here, we should see something happen. Ball's going to be tapped down. They look to get another stoppage here. Locking it in.
Grant wrapped up with it. Again, now in that goal square. Wanderers been very good at keeping the ball inside their forward line. They've flocked the ball now. Comes to O'Brien. He's got a few to beat. Wrapped up and pinged. Umpire will call holding the ball. Brilliant tackle there from the Muck Mucks. Might be going the way there of... see who's got ball in hand. I think it will be Maraka.
Yeah, Josh Maraka. Beautiful tackle. Tried to bite off more than he could chew, and now Maraka's got an opportunity. Put the Muck Mucks back in front with this kick.
Loves it, doesn't he? Straight away. A little whoop. And as you say, they're back in front now, 5-2-32 to St Mary's, 5-1-31. Accurate night down here at Gardens. It's not some of the wet conditions we've seen this year, Lockie, but it's not the cleanest night either.
No, it's not, but it's still been flicking around as much as it can. Stoppages here at Gardens normally come at a higher variety, but yeah, so far both teams accurate, and the standard of footy's been fantastic. Wanderers back in front. So far, sides going goal for goal, and Wanderers fans will be really excited so far.
Tyler Phillips contesting the ruck for the Wanderers against Samuel Jackson. Comes down to Piercy inside 50. Bullet-like pass and a mark off the lead. No umpire calls play on. Didn't blow the whistle. Now comes out here to Long. Back through traffic. Has to work it backwards. Oh, gee, they're under pressure. How will the umpire call it? Holding the ball again. And as we said, the Wanderers have been awesome inside 50, just retaining the ball in there, making their opponents pay. And it's the big fella, Max Johnson, putting pressure on there. I think it'll be Motlop receiving. No, it'll be the ruckman. So doing the work in the air and on the land.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from your big fellas. Maxie Johnson, he won't miss. The Wanderers bringing the heat in this one.
Nothing's a guarantee with ruckman, Lockie, but he's made the most of that one.
He's been huge, Maxie Johnson. 29 hitouts last week in their best, and a bit of VFL experience this year for the Bull Ants, his second NTFL season, and he's been a really good pick-up for the Muck Mucks. Big forwards that are able to tackle inside 50, come at a premium. That was fantastic, and the Wanderers, handy little lead here, and all of a sudden the Saints, just a few blokes looking around, see who's going to step up.
Yeah, yet to really find their gear tonight, Wanderers. You feel like it's definitely a Muck-Mucks game, and St Mary's are just keeping with them at the moment. How can they turn that around? Phillips in the middle, he gets it down. Still disputing the ball, the big ruckman. Jackson tries to get in there. Now handballed out, Smiler. Or maybe a high tackle, just a wayward arm, gets over the top. Ted Castle not happy. Maraka goes inside 50, looking for Johnson again. Pushed out to that fat side. Dragged it in, calls the Saints fans. Grant gets it out now to Long. Handball over the top to the runner, but misfires. And there's a few Wanderers there again. Good strong follow-up there from Tui. And then Parnell off the ground looking for Vallejo. Again, he's got a few to beat, but he got a boot to ball. And just a bit more aggressive on it there was Calvin. Now comes back there looking for Horrigan. Maraka dropped it, put under pressure, but just gives a little fend off to Long, who looks like he's hurt his knee. In a bit of pain here on the wing. We'll keep you updated there. Meanwhile, at half forward, St Mary's gather on the defence and push it out for a boundary throw in. Long still looking in a pretty ginger position. Just hobbling up into trainer's hands now. Looks like he's heading to the contest though.
Yeah, just a little stinger, it looks like, from Long. Looks like he's okay. Just jogging in a frame now. Wanderers certainly on top in this one. Hit out goes forward.
See how Long's knee holds up there. Seems okay, bounces back up. St Mary's work it forward, but only as far. And a great smother there, or great shepherd, I should say, from Fuller. Straight into the fence, though. Yaron's just going in to remonstrate with him. Jack Lant, the recipient of that, just getting up from the fence now. A bit sore on that mudguard.
Yeah, it was Fuller who came through the block. Hit Lant a little bit late, and he slid into the fence.
Lant receives a free kick as a result. Now with O'Brien. Sells a little bit of candy, nothing too big, bit of sherbet on top. And then comes to Musgrave. Gets it inside 50, but Dos Santos just in a better position. Pushes it across goal. Now from Calvin over the top. Can't find his target. They got numbers though. Oh, gee, put under pressure there from Vallejo. Good strong tackle. Coach would love that from his son. Now pushes it to Lant. Better angle. Plays on. Wrapped up by the big fella. Umpire lets it go. Got a handball away just in time. And again, the Muck-Mucks are fierce on the ball here, aren't they?
Yeah, it's that perceived pressure because every time the Saints look to pick it up, there's a Wanderers man there waiting to tackle him. On Lant, who's a little bit sore coming up from that one. Didn't see Johnson coming. It's pretty hard to miss him. So the ball goes up. Lant once again tackled. Was able to get the handball away this time. Floating around that 50-metre arc. Cross with another good tackle. And this time it's holding the ball. Wanderers all over the Saints. 14 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Crofts from half back just pushes it short and sharp. Didn't work, so he had to go and have another crack. Clears it, and he's dumped after. He's earned himself a free kick up the ground. Now in the hands of Phillips. There's a little bit happening here in the middle of the ground. And I think we might have a 50-metre penalty, so Phillips will have a shot from pretty close to the top of the square.
Yeah, silly from St Mary's, just losing their composure a little bit, and the challenge has certainly been taken up to them. It's going to be interesting to see how they can respond as we see Phillips stroll in and make light work of that one. He's able to put through his first of the night, St Mary's 7th, and
I think that's their third in a row, Lockie, as well. Bit of momentum up their sleeve at the moment as we head towards the 15-minute mark of this quarter.
Yeah, it is. Tyler Phillips kicked a goal as well last week. First Premier League game as well for him. Their clash against the Waratahs. So Wanderers certainly on top, and it's time to step up for the Saints. They're going to whack a few of their guns in the middle. Parnell, Lant, and also Kent in there. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can respond, but this is certainly a good challenge from the Muck-Muck so far. 15 minutes gone.
Ball up in the middle now. Davies doing the duties for St Mary's, thrown in there, giving Jackson a rest. Big, strong tackle there. Will give away a free kick for a dump. And Wanderers just getting the reaping the rewards here from St Mary's ill discipline. Another player decked in the forward line for the Wanderers. Don't think there was anything too serious in it, too scandalous. Jack Truan was the recipient of that, and he's now laying a tackle here, so nothing too foul at play.
This game's gone up just a few notches, Will. A few teams a bit ill-disciplined behind the ball, and certainly starting to heat up here. So it's going to go around in the pocket. Phillips was able to get his handball out.
Cody Leggett, if you don't mind, has missed to the near side. Ambitious shot, but I mean, they haven't had that sort of freedom in previous weeks, probably up to this point in the season, to be that brave and ambitious. They've often found themselves not necessarily out of the game, but not in a favourable position at this point. And to do it against a side who's second on the ladder, the only side to knock off top of the ladder, arguably in the box seat, is a pretty good position to be in. 14 points they find themselves up by. Jackson Calder the mark out from full back. Can't take it. Free kick again going Wanderers' way. Crofts will take the advantage. Takes one bounce as he approaches 50, and then a short, sharp one gets spilled through the hands. There wasn't a mark anyway. Now comes to White. He'll go out to Crofts. No, he won't. He'll snap on goal. 1-on-1. It's marked. No, it's not. Wasted opportunity there from Pearcey. Almost could have let it go through. Couldn't take the mark. Comes off his hands through for a behind.
Had his man beaten Pearcey, but just couldn't hold on to it. And
barrel, if you don't mind. Didn't come off perfectly, but bounced into the hands of Calder, then off and over for a boundary throw-in.
A missed opportunity for the Muck-Mucks. That would have been huge. 3 goals up in this one.
McGrath playing very deep as well. St Mary's potentially, if they can get a breakaway here, they'll have a target up forward in Calder, then a 1-on-1 deeper in McGrath. Muck-Mucks won't let that happen though here, will they? Is Sinclair trying to work through. St Mary's back through traffic. Find an outlet now through Tedcastle. He'll take a mark running with the flight. No, he won't. Caught high. Almost ducked his legs there or dropped his body a little bit. Now rolls forward looking for Mitch Musgrove. He takes the mark. Looking for a lead from Calder. Skinny side. Won't hit him on the full. Bounces off hands and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Calder not happy with his attack there.
He's getting frustrated, Jackson Calder. Riley Calvin's been fantastic on him tonight so far. Was able to just kick the one. Probably a cheap goal, you can say, from Calder from out of bounds on the full. But other than that, Riley Calvin has been wearing him like a glove. That's what you need to do to a champ like Calder. As the ball's going to be thrown in. St Mary's forward half. They go forward. Ted Castle gets around one. Tries to sell a bit more candy. Bites off more than he can chew, and Wanderers are going to clear the ball.
I think he kicked that one into his teammate Robinson there as well on the way through. Handball from Luke Davies. No, from Jack Musgrove, sorry. And then a kick forward from the Wanderers. Will be brought back to the kicker, but a free kick paid nonetheless. Sonny Smiler. Again, as we mentioned, NT News' Rising Star recipient during the week. And very handy youngster. Try and get an age there for you. He's quite young, obviously, being a Rising Star recipient, but you can see he's already very comfortable in this Wanderers outfit. Wanderers pushing down now. Middle of the ground they run through. Crofts try to get it through, but umpire will call advantage now, and Crofts kept running. He's been running all day. Kick not good, though. Finds O'Brien, who will look to take advantage as well. Finds Parnell. They're away here. St Mary's. Parnell's got a player outside. Instead goes further to the one-on-one on Calder. And playing in front was Calvin and takes an easy mark. Again, Calder just talking to his teammates and saying, that's not where I need it.
Riley Calvin again. He's probably been my best on so far tonight. Well, playing a massive role. It's going along the way to the Wanderers being in front in this game. 20 minutes gone. Just wondering what the talk at half-time from Coach Vallejo will be to his Saints men. Looking for a response. This ball's going to go long down the wing.
Now picked up, and Wanderers trying to work it around. Goes over the boundary line. Here in TIO's NTFL 2024-25 Premiership season. Down here at Gardens Oval, you're watching round 10 action between Wanderers and St Mary's. Just forward to the wing for the Saints, but they've been hard to come by. Just the one goal for them this quarter. First one of the quarter to them. Wanderers with the last 3 goals. Jack Lant finds himself with ball in hand. Too easy there to Hodge as he plays on. Oh, gee, if that come up. Oh, and I think O'Brien there's just hesitated as the ball came out of his hand, taken high. Umpire will call for a ball up, though. Probably a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, pretty stiff O'Brien on that occasion.
Calder doing the rucking against Johnson, but Johnson a bit bigger and stronger there. Man to man. Got the hit out down. Wrapped up there. Both sides now are in red time, and don't imagine Wanderers will be dropping their guard after keeping it up for so long this quarter.
Opportunity for the Saints. They've got 3 or 4 right behind this contest. Ted Castle's one of them. He goes back to get it, puts his head down. Might have been taken high. Umpire said play on, and he's going to let it go as they try to work it out by hand. It's going to go long to the top of the goal square. Calder's the target, and this time the champ is able to out-muscle Calvin, and he'll go back to kick the Saints second of the quarter. 10 metres out, slight angle.
Already kicked the one tonight, as you mentioned. One from a free kick out of bounds on the full. All he really needs is a couple of shots, though, and he can make you pay, averaging just under 4 goals a game so far this season. Already up to 2 tonight. Reduces the margin back to 9 points. St Mary's 6-1-37, Wanderers 7-4-46.
Yeah, and just responding better there. The Saints, I've seen them on a few occasions try to go with a little chip pass to Calder and not quite finding him on that occasion, just able to get him one out. And when he's one-on-one in the goal square, there's not many in this league, nor I dare say in the country, that could out-muscle Calder. He's an absolute champ and superstar, and it's fantastic on that occasion. Only 9 points in now. 23 minutes gone in this second quarter.
Now comes down. Wanderers working it forward. They'll be hoping they can make amends for that red time goal, just given away to Calder. Comes off the feet, though, there of Mitch Musgrove and over the boundary line. Disappointed himself. Could have kept it alive and gotten a run on.
That's perceived pressure once again, Will. Musgrove had a lot more time than what he thought. Thought he was under pressure, and that's what they've brought in this first half, the Wanderers. It's something that St Mary's probably haven't seen, not since that clash with Southern Districts. The Wanderers taking it up to them as they get the hit out. Austin's forward, Leggett gets it, running on well. Kick wasn't great, it's out on the full.
And that number change, we mentioned there's a player out there wearing number 41. Nathan Jones, Cabillo's changed from number 4 up to 41. Not sure the story there, but if you're playing along at home, that's who's rocking the high number tonight. As we head into half-time there with that 9-point lead, an unlikely lead in favour of a rejuvenated Muck side. 7-4, 46 to 6-1, 37. Like the goal scorers so far tonight?
Yeah, goal kickers for the Saints. Calder with 2, Jack Land as well with a double, and McGrath and Ted Castle were able to get to singles. And for the Wanderers, it's been shared around. Truant, Sinclair, White, Ferreira, Maraka, Johnson and Phillips, all with the 1 each. And the Wanderers, 9-point leaders at half-time. Not many would have tipped this. The Gardens Oval, and it's up to Valagio's men to respond. And yeah, as I mentioned in the call, what will his message be at half-time, Will? Do you reckon to his men?
I think he'd just say to them, we need to start winning the ball from the cold face. We need to start winning it out of the ruck. We know we're up against Johnson, but and you know, not to take Sam Jackson's game apart too much. He's been pretty good up there, but Johnson's probably got him measured in terms of you know, just I guess presence around those ruck contests. If they can start reading off Johnson's hands and start winning the ball, St Mary's would probably start going the right way. I think they are making the most of their opportunities when they do go forward. They're probably just not getting enough of them at the moment.
Yeah, exactly right. And it seems like both sides, when they're able to get it inside their 50, they're able to take advantage of the opportunities. The ball's been played around the arcs a fair bit so far. So at half-time, it's a 9-point lead to the Wanderers. We'll be back to you after this short break.
We are the leaders on the field.
We lead off the field by saying no to violence.
Being a good role model starts with how we treat others.
How we show them respect.
Being strong is about standing up for what's right.
True strength is using your voice
to support those that need it most.
Our strength as a team is in how we support each other.
Let's do the same for our community.
Let's all show the next generation how to treat each other right.
Let's be the role model for change that kids deserve.
We protect our mates by speaking up against violence. Our voices matter.
Our voices matter.
Our voices matter.
Our voices matter. Our voices matter.
So let's speak up and show our community that violence has no place in our lives.
Love exploring the Territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to not TIO Stadium. We're here at Gardens, aren't we? Will, my name's Lockie Amory. I'm joined by Will Zwars. We're about to get underway here for the second half of St Mary's and the Wanderers. Wanderers in front by 9 points against the reigning premiers, and it's something not many would have tipped, but they've taken it up to them, the Muck-Mucks, and it's a really exciting second half that we're in store for. Will, I'm excited. I don't know about you, but it's going to be really interesting to see how the Saints respond.
Yeah, absolutely. I might have gone the early crow off there pre-game. I said I don't know if Dylan Lant's submission with the bung hand will do any damage to them, but they find themselves facing a 9-point deficit here as we enter the second half, and Tyson Kent wrapped up early here. Jack Land has kicked 2 goals, one of the best players on ground for St Mary's, particularly in that first quarter, starting in the middle again. We said they probably need to inject him a little bit more if they're to start winning the ball and get hands to it first. Wanderers have been dominant in that area tonight so far. Croft's probably one of the better players as well, been running since that siren blared pre-game here at Gardens Oval. Umpire will call for a ball up on the near wing.
Interesting to see Jaden McGrath's pushed up the ground. He was situated down in square for most of that first half. He's been pushed up to half forward. Lachlan Flagg's gone down deep for St Mary's as the Wanderers are going to get this one. Billy Crofts.
Yeah, look, interesting move there with McGrath. I think he's probably a similar calibre player to Jack Land, actually, in the sense where probably question his tank a little bit, but I think he's that dynamic and aggressive sort of player that, you know, he will get his hands on it first if you need him to. Wonder if they'll be rotating those two in the middle a little bit tonight. Wanderers moving forward again, and that's a beautiful pass into the centre corridor. They find Tyson White, who's been pretty handy tonight, and he's kicked a goal as well.
Yeah, that's as good as you'll see from Cody Leggett. 30-metre pinpoint, finds White, and this would be the perfect start for the Muck-Mucks to start this third quarter.
Got some good attributes out there on the ground. The run of Crofts, the bullet-like pass of Cody Leggett, the ball winning, the ruck hitting out of Max Johnson. They've got a lot of talent out there on the park tonight. Wanderers, a far cry from where they were the first month of the season. Tyson White, no exception to that. Umpire has to push left though, and just to behind 2 minutes into the third quarter here. One goal for Wanderers, a little bit wayward with their kicking tonight, but nothing too remarkable just yet. Long on that back pocket, pushes it out a little bit further. Now with Crisp. Good intercept though from Pearcey. He's been pretty impressive. Just looks like a hard, honest footballer. Now Phillips at the fall of it this time. Been a big presence up forward. Crashing a few packs, the target of a few kicks. Good pressure from St Mary's. Tyson White also put under a bit. Trying to spin it out there was Parnell. Been given the job on Sinclair in that first half. Crofts gets a handball out. Here is Sinclair, snap on goal. Through for a behind. Again, just a bit wayward. 7-6. They've got 6 more scoring shots than their opponents tonight, Lockie. Do you think that's anything of concern at the moment, or not quite yet?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Wanderers are early signs in this third quarter is they're well in front of the game. A few wayward shots early could have them a few goals in front. Interesting to see if the Saints are going to make him pay through the middle of the ground. Lant, he'll give the handball across. Saints don't have the numbers, and it's going to go to the Wanderers. Johnson went in hard.
Player down just behind Johnson as well. Okay, that might have been a minor head clash there. Kent is getting to his feet now, but looks okay. There'll be a 50-minute penalty going the way of Tyson White, though, so chance to make amends, and they want to make sure of this one, given the few blemishes early in this second quarter, already 2 behinds.
Another opportunity for Tyson White, and once again, a 50-metre penalty against St Mary's. Something Coach Valagio definitely wouldn't have wanted to see.
Yeah, a little bit undisciplined tonight, particularly late in that second quarter.
White now, 30 metres out. Not much breeze around here at Gardens. Should be a fairly easy kick, but once again, it's going to be Push to the near side, and Wanderers not making the Saints pay, keeping them in it.
It's just going to start to hurt them, Lockie.
It is. You can't. When you've got the Saints in the position that they are now, you've got to make them pay. These opportunities might bite them on the backside later on. So kick's going to go inside to Lant.
Pushes out now. Good jump there from Musgrove, but goes through his hands. Xavier Vallejo wrapped up. He's been really impressive tonight, hasn't he? Really loved his aggression on the ball, willingness to put his body on the line as well. Johnson taps it down.
5 minutes into this first quarter, Will.
Free kick going the way of Johnson.
Saints haven't had any of the play in their half of the ground. It's been all the Wanderers as they go inside 50 here, looking for a target. The forward ball is Fuller. He tries to get around one, can't quite. Gave the handball to Smiler. He'll go over the top now to White. He's been dangerous to start. This time he puts it through in the pocket with an absolute classic.
Can't get the easy ones, but he gets the hard one, doesn't he, Lockie?
Made light work of that one. Yeah, well, he missed too early in this quarter. Much easier angles in front, but that time running towards the pocket puts through an absolute stunner. Tyson White gets his second of the day, and Wanderers get the fast start here.
Loves it, doesn't he? He'll push. Where's he pushing at the moment? Back out onto the wing. Tyson White, as we said, has been a really strong part of this revival that all Wanderers have had probably since about early November. Had that win in the Nunyalinga Cup against the Buffaloes. They came pretty close last week against Waratah, and of course that classic with a late goal to Sinclair against Pint to take a 3-point win. What can they do tonight? They find themselves 18 points up. Could be more. 2 goals, 6 the margin. Johnson gets it down. Sinclair, bright orange boots. Definitely making him justifiable with his performance tonight, isn't he? There's a free kick being paid downfield. Looks like it'll be going the way of St Mary's. Potentially a chance for Calder to kick his third.
Jack Lant pushed after the kick. Sloppy from the Wanderers. You can't afford to give St Mary's a sniff, especially when they've been on top for all 7 minutes of this quarter. Now Jackson Calder, who seemingly has been dominated by Riley Calvin, yet he's got a chance to kick goal number 3 for the night.
In he comes, the champ. He's kicked 2 already. He likes that one, doesn't he? Instant reply from St Mary's and back to a 12-point game. Is that the spark the Saints need?
Yeah, it could be. You can't give him a sniff, and back to 2 goals. Saints winning out of the middle, going forward for the first time in this third quarter, and straight away Jackson Calder. A few words there to Riley Calvin. It's been a good matchup so far.
Interesting, they have sent Flag down to full forward. Hasn't really provided heaps tonight, but I don't know, maybe that's a diversion, maybe it's to try and bring him into the game, maybe a little bit of both, Lockie.
Yeah, well, looking at, they have to change something up going inside 50. They haven't been able to really hit up a target. All their goals have mostly come from stoppages, so yeah.
A few free kicks as well, as we've seen that last one, and one of Calder's other goals from a free kick.
Yeah, they have. Pushing McGrath up the ground, giving him more of an opportunity to get his hands on the ball. The ball's going to go the Wanderers' way on this occasion.
Maraka, he goes forward now, looking wide, overcooks it, rolls over the boundary line. Gains some meterage though, which has been half the St Mary's problem. Just Wanderers been able to get it forward a bit too easy, and they've been masters at keeping it inside their forward 50 tonight.
Yeah, they have. Another chance here. Johnson loves these opportunities. Taps it over his head this time, looking for someone to run onto it. Looks like Cross can do that. His kick's going to go high in the air. St Mary's going to go back with it. Can't quite hold on. This kick's a dangerous one. Across goal, asking a lot of his defender. It's going to go out to Truen. He's going to try to keep it in.
Maybe St Mary's wanted the line there. Instead, they keep it alive, but it's a shank. Wrong side of the boot from Austin and out on the full.
Tough chance. The kick across goal from Parnell was asking a fair bit of his fellow defenders. A 50-metre penalty here is going to be found in the goal square.
And I think they got stung a little bit here last week as well. Lockie, a few free kicks that weren't really through poor play or through malice, but just through laziness in terms of that, general football law and rule. Push it out wide now, looking for Grace Long. Been a quiet achiever in this St Mary's outfit this year. That kick, not a good one. Got a bit of time to work with, though. Now comes to Parnell. I'd love to see him explode in the second half, wouldn't you, Lockie?
Yeah, you would, as he goes forward. Calder and McGrath both there. McGrath going back with it. DeSantos does well. Just looks to get it out of the area. And they do that now, the Wanderers. Clean up well. Tracking back's Austin. He's got a challenge on his hands. Does fantastic, but then it's nailed in a tackle from Zach Robinson.
Just catching his breath. Hooking it in, isn't he? Copped a big tackle there. Very slight frame against a pretty big tackler.
Robinson got him in a good one, lined him up. Austin wore it well.
Phillips on Jackson. Spills off hands. Crofts hits the deck. Just managed to get a handball away, and then it comes wide. It's a Leggett. Under pressure, though. Now Bush trying to work to it. Puts the pressure on. But Wanderers get it out of there. Marked, no. Hits the deck. Picking it up again, those Wilkes. Then gives it over. Leggett spins him 360. Umpire says play on. Now with Hodges, rolls around. Boot to ball inside 50. Can they get a mark or just bounces out of the hands? Now wrapped up at the top of the 50. St Mary's trailing by that 12-point margin, but they seem to have had a little bit more spark about them the last few minutes. 11 and a half minutes gone through this third quarter here at Gardens Oval. Umpire calls for a free kick. Will go St Mary's way. Whistle being blown in their direction at the moment.
Opportunity now for the Saints. Wrestling back a bit of momentum. Chance here for Liam O'Brien. Calling to go long. Don't know if he'll have the trip from here. It's going to take...
The forward line's been flooded now with defenders as well. Doesn't have a lot of options. You think he'll just have to put it to the top of the square. Loads up, though. Oh, that's not a bad kick on it. Coming back, spills off hands. Still alive and hits the post. And pretty quick to move it on. Wanderers, not sure if the umpires registered that as a behind. Definitely looked like it bounced off the post from our angle, but doesn't look like the flags have been waved by the goal umpires.
Yeah, must have stayed in somehow. Looks like it slapped in the woodwork there, Will, but it's going to be thrown in. Half forward flank for the Saints. Still 2 goals in it. It's proving to be a seesawing affair. Good watch for onlookers as Wanderers are going to get the ball forward on this occasion. It's going to go out of bounds once again, far side. You mentioned earlier, Will, this Wanderers side don't notably have a superstar in it. It's just a lot of role players doing their job really, really well in the last few weeks. No massive standouts. We know Cody Leggett, Jack Sinclair delivering a big tackle there have been fantastic, but other than that, I don't really have many standouts. It's just seeming in these last few weeks they've just had everybody stepping up when it's their time to step up.
Meanwhile, for St Mary's, another player, a notable absence from the team sheet is Dylan Lance, locker room neighbour, Connor West, who formerly the West Coast Eagles and really good performer in their midfield this year, not in tonight's side.
Yeah, so 2 massive outs for the Saints, and it's definitely showing tonight without their leader and champion in Dylan Land. They're calling on others to step up. The ball's going to go long and high. The Wanderers forward 50. It's going to go out of bounds and thrown in once again.
One goal, 6 the margin. Wanderers a bit wayward in this term. 1 goal, 3 they've kicked for the quarter. St Mary's just the 1 goal. Wanderers arguably deserving of a better lead. St Mary's looking to make them pay. Yaron breaking away there, but the kick turned over at half-back to Horrigan, in a staple in their back line this year. Finds Johnson, who will play on and launch it, you'd think, inside 50. His opposite number in the ruck, Jackson, there to get hands in the way, and St Mary's will rebound again. Just a bit clumsy with their kicking, aren't they? They're not looking for the targets directly. They're just kind of going in the general direction, and it's hurting them a little bit, as could be the case here. Long has to work back through traffic here. Will get it back there off Crisp and weaves inside and out. Grant goes back to Crisp again, throws on the boot. And again, didn't really have time to think about a target, just had to blaze away. Now they go back inside. Wanderers will pick it up. Horrigan squeezes it out. Now to Tui. Inboard to Jackland on his left, non-preferred. Working down the ground. Spills over the back. Now his flag. First look in it. Kick not great. Rolls out over the boundary line near the apex of the 50.
Well, there, Motlop. Pressure was on. Had Calder in a one-on-one down the line. It's always nervous for any defender. Riley Calvin. It's going to be thrown in. Saints with another opportunity. Certainly brought it in this last 10 minutes. It's going to be thrown in. Johnson and O'Brien are going to do battle. O'Brien way undersized in that hit out, but it's going to go the Saints' way. They go to the top of the goal square. Calder's there again. This is what he loves. Can't quite bring it down. Still going to fall there to Kent. He'll give the handball over to McGrath, who snaps. A goal.
Umpire's quarter behind, has he? He has, just the wrong side of the post.
Looks good from here.
Would have been a cracker. Must have just gone directly above what would be the extension of the pole there, Lockie, because that was a line ball call there.
Yeah, it was high. It was right over the behind post. Umpire had to make a call on whether it was over or just in. He said it was over. Saints get the ball back now. Ted Castle. Slow it down. Look for targets. Got men on down the line if he wants. Ops in the Calder direction. He's got two on him. Can he beat them? Almost did. Falls to the front of the pack, and there's going to be another stoppage inside the Saints forward 50.
Calder calling for ruck duty. So too Johnson. We know how dangerous Saints can be if they get their hands on the ball first. Haven't done so often enough tonight. Kent has a go there. So too Bush gets it tight to the boundary line. Eventually taken over there by Fuller.
Much like the Saints' last game here at Gardens Oval, that was an 8-point loss to the Waratahs. It's shaping up like it could be another one that goes down to the wire. The Wanderers' last 3 games decided by 18 points. 2 wins, 1 loss. Thrown in. Johnson and Calder do ruck work. Hodges, he's there. Can't quite pick it up. Well done by Crofts. Was really clean in the contest, and the kick's going to be exited for the Wanderers.
Spills over the back.
To the near side. It's going to be thrown in.
And I think you're right with St Mary's last game here. They probably got this sort of 2.5 goal margin down, and in similar conditions it was just a bit too much for them to try and nail back in a low-scoring affair against Waratah. They tried and tried. I think it was the young ruck Riley Irvin who that night was one of the heroes with a very late spoil in their defensive 50. Here, Saints come again, finding themselves on the wrong side of an 11-point margin. Wanderers a bit cleaner, again just attacking the ball a little bit more. Crofts tries to get a handball out there to Fuller. Still finding its way into hands, the yellow pill on the ground. Free kick called from the umpires will go the way of Saints. Off the ball, O'Brien had a runner, instead he opts to go long. Calder coming in from the back, crashes it. Picked up by Vallejo, then kicked into space. Getting very tight on the ball there was Flag. They've got numbers, Saints, but they sort of muddled it up a bit there. And there'll be another free kick. This time being paid Wanderers' way. Downfield advantage won't be accepted. Truan has been a little bit quieter tonight than in other games, but still having a bit of an impact. Plays on here, shrugs a tackle and works it forward. Bounces up in their hands there of Smiler. Try to work it back in there to Maraka. Now comes in to Austin. Top of the square, 2-on-2 in the pack. Spills out over for a point. back up to that 12-point margin. 19 minutes gone in this third quarter. You're watching TIO's coverage of the 2024-25 NTFL season.
Mary's find Ted Castle now. He'll look to play on and go quickly. He's got flag down the line. He was pushed under it, couldn't quite. Calder's the target down the line now. He opted to spoil from behind. Spilt to Lant. He tried to run through the pack. Gave the handball over the top. That'll find Ken.
Calder's all by himself if they can get it over to him. They break through. Try to get a handball. Just too many. Muck's in the way. Crofts gets it through now. Handball comes out. Looking there for Calvin. He's tackled as well. Calder's still by himself. They'll look to him now. Going to the fat side. Hits him on the chest. Bounces off. He's got 3 to beat now. Puts pressure on. Now Wanderers work it out. Find their target there, and the fans there happy with that play, aren't they? In the hands of George Wilkes. Gets it down to Tyson White, and he will stop and just take a breath. Lockie Humphrey.
Yeah, opportunity goes begging for St Mary's. You don't see Calder drop them too often. Down the line. It's going to work now through Truan. He uses his pace. Is able to get the handball over the top to Wilkes. He can go inside 50. He's got Ferreira on if he wants to go to him. The kick's not going to favour him, though. It's going to bounce inside 50. Ferreira's still a chance. A lot of pressure on Graham, but he's able to get the ball. It stays in. It goes to Smiler. Smiler snaps a goal.
Should have let it go through over the boundary line there, Grant. He's kicking himself. How good has that been from the Wanderers? And look at the effort there of George Wilkes. He ran from all the way from half back to just about set up that goal. Very well done by the Wanderers. And again, they squeeze out now at 17 points the lead.
Umpires deliberating. They don't have a TV to go to, so I don't know what they talk about when they get in that little huddle. Decision's going to stay the same anyway. Yep, get on with it. We go forward. It's a goal to the Wanderers. Don't know how that ball stayed in, Will. Grant was looking just to run it over the line, and somehow Ferreira's effort gave it back to Smiler, and he kicks his first of the night. Wanderers out now by 17 points, and signs here not good for the Saints.
No, not at all. They wouldn't want to be playing here too many times in the back half of the season, you'd think, after tonight's performance so far and their effort earlier in the season against the Tars. Ball up in the middle of the ground. 22 gone in this third quarter. Quarter's gone to about the 24.5 to 25-minute mark so far tonight. Lockie, great mark straight from Mitch Musgrove. Been really impressive, the Musgrove boys, in the last few weeks. Told to play on. Unsure what the notion there was to grant that. Not a good kick backwards through traffic. Didn't find O'Brien. Has to launch long. Calder, maybe this is the opportunity. Spills off hands again. And now deep into the pocket. No one's pushing towards it for the Saints. On the other hand, Piercy, he gets in the back pocket. Got it to his teammate there, and Leggett bustles through too and then works down the line. Wanderers a bit hungrier tonight at the moment.
Yeah, they are. Few really tired bodies now starting to walk around. Calder couldn't quite bring it in once again. Another drop mark. He wasn't happy with himself. The Saints are firing. He's clunking them, and tonight that hasn't been the case.
Spills over the back now. Oh, big body on there. The siren goes for the third quarter. Touch earlier than we've seen in the other 2 quarters so far, but it is a 17-point lead in favour of the Wanderers. 9-7-61. St Mary's 7-2-44. And Wanderers, well, they've got their opponents with their backs against the wall, haven't they, Lockie?
They have. You don't see this too often from the Saints, but, Will, to be frankly honest, they haven't played their best footy tonight at all. They've been off by a long way, in 3/4 time they're still in with a chance. We saw them run over the top of the Southern Districts a few weeks ago, so they have it in them, but it's going to take a few to stand up. I'm looking at McGrath. He's going to be one of them. He's only kicked the one tonight, and he's been pretty quiet, so they'll be looking at the likes of him, Jack Lant, Jackson Calder, their experienced leaders. But yeah, so far it's the Wanderers who are looking to take a huge scalp here as we're going to the 3/4 time break. You're watching NTFL footy here at the Gardens Oval. Me and Will Zwar will be here back after this very short break.
Love exploring the territory? If you do, it's good to know that with TIO Comprehensive Car Insurance, if you have an accident covered by your policy, we're here to help with the reasonable costs of towing, as well as your additional emergency accommodation and travelling costs. So get out there and explore. Get a quote today. TIO, we're for Territorians.
Kazali's Palmerston Club. Come and check out our cafe, open 7 days a week. Our kids club is open Wednesday to Sunday nights, including weekend lunchtime. Enjoy hot meals with nightly specials at the bistro or cold drinks at the sports bar. Feeling lucky? Have a go at the latest machines in our gaming lounge or grab your mates for a round of pool. Family gatherings or casual meetings, we have something for everyone. Kazali's Palmerston Club, making a difference.
Welcome back to Gardens Oval, round 10 of AFLNT's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season from, as we said, Gardens Oval here. We've got a game on our hands, a little bit of conjecture with the scoreboard, but at the moment it sits at a 18-point margin, 9-8-62. The Wanderers with an unlikely lead over St Mary's 7-2-44. And as it stands, could be a bit of a telling result for the rest of the season. In particular, it could favour the likes of Southern Districts on top. It would put them a game clear, assuming they win this weekend against the bottom place Buffaloes side. But it also opens the door up for Waratah, Tiwi and Nightcliff to gain some ground back on St Mary's. Lockie Humphries with me. I'm Will Zwar. Lockie, what can we expect from this final term?
Expect the Saints to come out hard. They've been in this situation a few times and they've responded, mainly against the Crocs. They've got a chance here. So they're going to go forward.
Yaron back through traffic with the first clearance of the final quarter, looking for Calder at centre half forward. Comes off hands now. Picked up by Piercy. Calder wraps him up with a high tackle. Umpire calls for a ball up.
That's the tone set early from Jackson Calder. Their leaders are going to have to stand up.
I like Nick Yaron in the middle. I think he could be a real X factor here.
Yep, huge. Ball goes up. Yaron right on cue. Good call from you, Will. Smothered.
Now comes back Parnell, putting some pressure on. He'll get to ball first if he can pick it up cleanly. Does, but under pressure. His kick very, very wide. Stays in. Body pressure on from Yaron again. Now works forward for St Mary's. Davin Ferreira kicks it high. Two Saints flew for it. No one marked the football. Now here comes Piercy. Long way from home. Kicks to a one-on-one at the top. Truan just gets enough space on his opponent in Davies. Bit quieter in terms of his scoreboard contribution tonight, Jack Truan. Still the one goal. But he'll wind up looking like he's going to go for a snapshot here. Lockie, kicked a few goals a week back. Would you be doing this from this angle, or would you be going straight drop punt?
I'd probably be dialing in the drop punt, but who am I to tell him how to kick goals? Jack Truan, he knows how to slot them. Has been quiet tonight, was quiet last week, but when you need him, he bobs up and he gets his second of the night. Wanderers get the fast start again and out by 4 goals. Worrying signs for the Saints. We saw the ball go up. Liam O'Brien and her teammate not working it out, fumbling each other, and Truan was able to get out the back one-on-one, and he's so prolific when he's able to lead off his man and get some space. Same on that occasion, and 2 minutes into this fourth quarter, the Wanderers get the first.
Their backs against the wall, St Mary's. Not a position they would have expected to be in at this point, nor one they've been in too often this year. How will they respond? 4 goals down. Jackson gets a hit out at ground level. Wanderers again just getting their hands to it first. Here comes Jackson now out to O'Brien, only as far as his counterpart in the Wanderers jumper. At half-back comes through Jack Musgrove's hand, trying to pick it up was Parnell. Now gets to Maraka. He gets a handball out now to Tyson White. Runs around. Short one into the middle of the ground. Finds Jeremy Piercy, who's been really good this second half. He plays on, gets it into that fat side. Can't get marked by Truan. Up comes Jacob Long. Gets a handball off to Vallejo. Now off to the runner on half-back. Kick it to centre wing. Comes off hands and spills over the boundary line.
Huge from Zach Fuller there, coming through with the spoil. Ball's going to be thrown in right in the middle of both interchanges.
Ball comes up now. Johnston just muscles his way through, but only gets it down into O'Brien's hands. Now back to Xavier Vallejo. Tackled, had to get a handball away. Leggett takes it easy as you like. Uncontested on the wing. Now goes inside 50. Pereira at the back. Ferreira, I should say, now grabs it again. Wrapped up as it spilled through the hands of Musgrove by Musgrove. And we'll have a ball up inside 50.
Pressure's been huge. The young fella Jonah Austin there was fantastic with the tackle, able to make the turnover happen. He's been really good tonight. Jonah Austin, probably a little bit undersized for this level, but Jesus, he knows how to go and get it. This time the Saints will get a free kick.
Go to Dom Grant, who surrendered an unfortunate goal late in that third quarter. Gave Sonny Smiler some joy on the scoreboard. Now with Long, he kicks it long to Calder. Calvin just got to it first, came off his hands and over the boundary line. Gained some yardage though for St Mary's. Half their battle tonight.
Good again, Calvin. Even last time they played him, he was able to get off the chain. Calder kicked 6, but I still feel like Riley Calvin was halving that matchup.
Definitely had his measure tonight, despite the 3 goals next to Jackson Calder's name tonight. A high one into the middle of the ground. Tui couldn't take it, but they work it forward now. Jack Lant comes off hands. Sniff here for flag. Puts the pressure on. And again, just gets somebody on the line. But Wanderers had an exit option. Now it comes to Crofts. Been running all night. He works backwards to Dos Santos. Looking to switch the play now. Comes back to Leggett. One of their better players. Intercepted though by Patrick Grace. Long handball over the top. Grace Long might keep running. Yaron will go instead out to Mitch Musgrove. Has a shot on goal, but he's hooked it. Could be a handy point. 7-3. Reduce it to 23 points the margin.
Mitch Musgrove in an absolute paddock there. He has to slot them, and St Mary's have to make the most of those opportunities if they want to get back into this game in this final quarter. They've only had the 10 scoring shots tonight to the Wanderers 18, so opportunities have come at a premium for the Saints. The Wanderers are going to go long down the line. Contest there. Johnson.
Good mark paid to Johnson. Big fella, just arms stretched out. Never going to get hands on that when he's taken at the highest point, are you? Short one. Get the tape measure out. Umpire said it wasn't 15. Free kick paid. Umpire again calls play on. Truant caught lacking. Saints maybe the beneficiaries here. Nearly intercepted there. Enough pressure was put there on to flag. Now comes over the top. Lots of muck-mucks in that back line. They can sense a win and they don't want to give it up easy. Working it back into the middle of the ground and trying to get it to Davies. St Mary's have the ball in their hands, but nothing is easy for them tonight.
It's not. Just turning the ball over a few times. Flag was able to give the handball next to Musgrove if it was there. He waited to try and take on the man, then give the handball. It's got to be first option and back to basic stuff for the Saints. They just have to get the ball forward.
Now, Long on Ferreira on that forward flank. Both playing the man. I think Ferreira's been lucky to earn himself a free kick there.
Jack Musgrove's just going to be sitting in the hole. He's the spare here in this contest. That kick might favour Truant, but he won't be able to hold on. It's going to be thrown in. Wanderers pocket, and another goal here would make it really difficult for the champs.
Yeah, deserving of their lead so far tonight, Wanderers. Arguably should be more. You look at that scoreline, 10 scoring shots to 18. But still St Mary's in with a sniff. 7.5 minutes almost gone through this final term. Grace Long gets it out to Yaron. Check sides it forward to the run of flag. Again, they're just not picking the right spots. Too many Wanderers players at the fall of it. Johnson sells a bit of candy. Now comes through to Fuller. Pushing it just a little bit further forward. Now here comes Grace Long. Austin getting involved. Very slight frame, but he's been impressive and hard at the contest tonight. Hasn't backed down at all. Jackson. Nearly went through to the runner. I think it might have been Leggett. Now Phillips gets it up. Maraka hacks it forward. Truant has 2 to beat. Gets to a front position. Bounced off the chest of Long. He goes back to Grant. Now he's got 2 to beat. Wrapped up there strongly by Sinclair. Umpire will call for a ball up. Sinclair not happy. Kicked a ripper early in the day, Jack Sinclair, and he kicked the match winner against Pine a few weeks ago, so we know he can find him when things are getting tight. Grant just skies it, gets it out of the danger zone. Mark not taken there, but kept in possession of Leggett. He launches it long, top of the square. Jack Musgrove in, perfect spot here. Not safe hands, so rushes it through for a behind. 24 points the margin.
Saints need one here, Will. I don't know about you, but it certainly feels like it's getting a bit too late for St Mary's. They need to kick 4 goals to get back into this game, and the Wanderers looking dangerous in their front half.
Time soon to become a factor, Lockie. You're right.
See Kobe Hodges go back. Wanderers defending well, hemming them in. Gonna find a loose one in Jesse Tui here. He's going to go down the line and find another teammate. The Wanderers covering ground well.
Oh, sells a bit of candy. Long. Been a bit all over the shop tonight. Some very good and a few mistakes as well. Free kick going Saints' way. Wanderers fans not happy with that one.
Yeah, I agree. Well, wasn't there on that occasion.
Vallejo takes a mark just behind centre. Wayward kick, but his teammate there in Robinson has plenty of time and plenty of space. He works it forward now. Beautiful kick to Bush. They have a number on the forward flank instead, just a short, that 45-degree angle hit. Musgrove plays on. He goes to the fat side, but Leggett barely had to move and he takes the mark pretty easy. Contested in the end. And almost with a touch of a feather. Maraka goes down the line. Punch there by Davies.
Yeah, Leggett on that occasion would have intercepted the ball, but it's happened on a few occasions tonight where the Wanderers have been able to get back and prevent those leading targets from McGrath and Calder. Johnson was down there as well. It's made it really difficult. Seemingly all the Saints goals coming from contests. It's going to be thrown in. Phillips gets a hit out down. It's going to try to be kept in by Tyson Kent. To no avail. Thrown in. You'll see the umpires tonight in the orange hats and orange socks. That's for no more round. Promoting an end to domestic violence here in the NT and across Australia. This ball gets thrown back in again. Leggett has a chance to go back and get it, but once again it's going to be thrown in.
It's a win for the Wanderers there. Bit of pressure over the boundary line. Chew up some more of the clock. 11.5 minutes gone through this final quarter, and you're watching AFL NT's coverage of the 2024-25 TIO NTFL season from Gardens Oval here in Darwin. 24-point lead going the way of the Wanderers. Saints work it forward now. Won't be an easy mark, and it wasn't a mark at all. Vallejo just soccers it to himself. In danger, though. Bit too cute, and that one was always going to be a free kick against. Horrigan given a 50 as well.
Was it Vallejo?
Not sure what the remonstration was or who it was, but it'll take him to about, the man on the mark, to about 60 metres out. Stacked forward line there. Few gold jumpers hanging back. Again, lucky this might just be a barrel to the top of the square and hope for the best sort of situation. Do a high one at the fall of it. There's a lot of Saints jumpers there. Davies gets it out to Kent. Rolls around and then he just boots it long. Jack Lant using his body well. Though Jones Cabillo will pick it up. Work it back to Dos Santos. Stalks. Drops the ball. Almost Jared Brennan style with the one hand. Got a handball away. Then another one very wide. Wanderers done very well there. Now here comes Wilkes, rolls around, kicks it into the lead of Truan. Good fist in there from the back from Dom Grant.
Well done by Dylan Dos Santos there. It was under a lot of pressure. A few St Mary's forwards was able to get around a few. Gives the Wanderers an opportunity now. Ticking over 13 minutes in this final quarter. It's going to take Saints' very best from here on in.
Johnson paddles it back. Smiler kicked one tonight. Left foot, snap on goal. Hooks it a bit too much, just through for a behind. Makes it interesting though, 25 points.
Where's the spark going to come from, Will? Which one of these Saints is going to stand up?
Haven't had it all night. They just need someone to say, you know what, I'm going to take this game by the collar and run with it. Goes down the line. And Saints, they're away here. One-on-one. Lant, the target, goes over his back. They've got a runner in Calder. Can he beat Calvin? Keeps it in front of him. Then he just soccers it towards goal, but across the face. Through for no score. Boundary throw in. That's a win for the Saints.
Win for the Saints. Huge contest. Riley Calvin did fantastic. Such a tough one ball, dribbling towards the goal. No one in between Jackson Calder and the big sticks. Calvin did well. But the Saints have an opportunity here.
Watch Jack Lant. He kicked a goal from a forward 50 ball up. Here he comes now. Snap on goal. Oh, just hits the post.
Almost caught it well. He's a bit sore in the pocket as well. Lant looks like he might have gone into the fence again, not for the first time.
Yeah, very ginger, just getting up with a bit of a limp to him. Not the player they need to go down at the moment. Safe hands, bit too easy there, finding Maraka in the back 50. Oh, very wide kick though, and that'll be out on the full. Going to Jack Musgrove. They need to make this count. Just on your screen, Jack Lant looks like he's going straight to the bench. Now they go inside 50. Wanderers seem a bit cooler and calmer, though that kick forward. Yaron putting his body on the line. Tyson Kent also getting involved. Look at the blue around the ball there, Lockie. They just seem hungry, don't they?
They do. Wanderers want it more, no doubt about that. Jack Lant comes to the bench. Looks like a right knee. He's stretching it out. Fingers crossed for him. As the Wanderers exit once again, DeSantos just elects to bang it forward. Ferreira's there. Did well to create a contest. Tries to go back and get it. Smartly. Toe pokes it out to the far side, but Parnell's going to clean it up well.
Takes a bounce, goes for a run. Second bounce. Look at him go. Maybe he's the spark. Kicks it inside to Calder. Comes off hands to Yaron. Gets it out to a runner. Check side from Kent. That'll go through for a goal. Saints reduce it back to a 20-point margin.
Needed to kick that Tyson Kent, and he did.
In fact, it's 18 points. Missed my math there, Lockie.
Back to 3 goals. You said it, Kieran Parnell. A few bounces along the wing. It was fantastic. Got into the contest, and Kent was in the right place at the right time. Time still ticking away, but there is a spark for St Mary's. How can the Wanderers respond?
16 and a half minutes gone.
A few tense fans now here at Gardens. We know they can kick him quickly. Lant, the Jack variety, still off the ground. We know Dylan laid out today what they would do to have him in the middle right now, but it's going to be the likes of Liam O'Brien and a few others. Yaron in there, as well as Luke Davies for the Saints. What can they do?
On ruck duties, young Davies comes to Yaron, turns around and goes, takes one bounce, explodes out of the middle, kicks it to Jackson Calder again from the back. Taken off hands. Now comes, they're on their wrong side. Just putting a bit of pace on Bowie Tedcastle. Snaps it forward. You wouldn't think that'll be a major, but beats all defenders and through for a behind. The time's still a factor, but they definitely have a bit more spring in their step, don't they, the Saints?
Yeah, they do. We've seen it before. They can come with a flurry late. Bowie Tedcastle just didn't have the left boot to be able to put that to the top of the goal square. But they're looking dangerous. Wanderers trying to buy some time. Still say there's more than 6 or 7 minutes on the clock, Will.
Johnson puts a shepherd on. Handball from Crofts over the top to the runner on the outside. Tackled with it and dropped it. Now picked up by Piercy. Goes inboard. Smile overran it as well. Maybe a bit too lax and callous here. The Wanderers. Boot to ball. Very, very wide. Bounces off the chest of the Wanderers player. Lost his feet. Keeping it there. I think that's Grace Long. It is. Put some pressure now on the defenders. Saints giving it everything at the moment. Maybe they've left their run too late. Although here comes Kent now. He goes though. Calder's by himself. Couldn't take the mark though. Horrigan put some late pressure on. Just did enough to neutralise the contest.
3 minutes left in this one. Well, just had a look and it's not 6 or 7. It's only 3. So 17 points. It's the lead, and if St Mary's are any chance, they need to kick one now. Ball thrown in. St Mary's forward 50. Calder's doing the ruck duties. He couldn't quite get it down. Billy Crofts, he's been unreal tonight. That kick, he's looking for the boundary. Might get there as well through Phillips. It does.
It's a win for the Wanderers. 3 minutes, not a lot of time.
You mentioned the repercussions for this one. Well, if the Wanderers were able to hang on.
It also means, which I forgot to mention, that Wanderers edge closer to, in particular, 4th and 5th place, which is Nightcliff and Tiwi, both those sides playing off tomorrow. So massive impact on the rest of the competition. Who knows, you could see Wanderers in the top 5 by the end of the Christmas break.
Yeah, if Tiwi was to get over the top of Nightcliff tomorrow, it would shape up a matchup between the Wanderers and Nightcliff next week that would be huge for the repercussions of this season. As we look towards the Christmas break here in the NTFL, they just halted by a blood rule, so the clock will have stopped, but there's about 2.5 minutes to go in this one, and Premiership winners last year, St Mary's,
back against the wall tonight. The beat Wanderers in, I think it was maybe around 4, Lockie, by 78 points.
Huge turnaround.
At the moment, that stands at a 96-point turnaround, just about 95-point turnaround at the current margin. Working back through traffic, though. Wanderers have their hands on the ball. Push it outside now. Sell a bit of candy. Some unsolicited advice from the fans. Gets into a bit of space and slipping over the boundary line there. Maybe hurt himself a little bit. I think it's Zach Robinson.
Time ticks here. 45 seconds left in this one, and you'd say it's all but over now. Well, the Wanderers are going to take a huge scalp as they head into the break. One that not many would have tipped.
Johnson gets it down. Saints, last gasp here. Bit too little, too late, though. Now comes out to Yaron. Handball doesn't get to him. Free kick, though, will go the way of Saints. Try and get it moving quick. O'Brien, long range. Umpire hasn't moved or hits the post. 16 points now.
Yeah, O'Brien gave it all he had on heavy legs, but it won't be enough. What a boilo who we've seen here at Gardens. The Wanderers, a massive scalp, the biggest scalp of the year so far to date. What a win it'll be for Motlop's men. As Parnell looks to go in one last time for the Saints. Calder, once again, Calvin, he's been all over him tonight. Can't quite get the kick, and the Wanderers' backline, Will, has been everything but extraordinary. They've been fantastic.
Captain Mitch Taylor, ball in hand. He'd be very happy with this one, you'd think. Not his best game tonight, but he set the tone early with a lot of pressure in that back line, making sure that nothing came through easy. Now if Patrick Gracelong gets a kick away, seconds ticking down. Musgrove couldn't take it. Shot to the top of the square. Taylor with the spoil. Now comes down to Crofts. And there's the siren. Wanderers, the first win this season by a bottom 4 side against a top 5 side. Wanderers mean business. And as we said, set up what could be a very mouth-watering clash next week against Nightcliff Tigers. In the end, 16 points, 10-10-70. St Mary's losing just 8-6-54 they kicked tonight. We'll take you through the goal scorers quickly. And for St Mary's, it was 3 goals to Calder, 2 to Jackland, and singles to McGrath, Ted Castle and Kent. Pretty even spread for the Wanderers. 2 goals to Jack Truan and Tyson White. Singles to Sonny Smiler, Jack Sinclair, Devin Ferreira, Josh Maraka, Max Johnson and Tyler Phillips. Lockie Humphrey with your best players for the night.
Best players, they're all going to be Wanderers. Well, I reckon Riley Calvin was fantastic. That match up with Jackson Calder is no easy feat, and there was many times where it was one-on-one. He was able to stand up. Riley Calvin, I thought he was fantastic. I also thought Billy Cross tonight across half-back and in the middle was able to get a lot of the pill. It'll be interesting to see how many touches he got tonight, but I'm sure it was heaps. And I also think that Sonny Smiler, the rising star Nom, backed it up again tonight, was able to get dangerous, kick a goal, and he was fantastic. Cody Leggett as well. Experience coming to the fore. But the Wanderers led at every change tonight here at Gardens Oval. They were able to beat St Mary's, who suffered their second loss of the season. Their second loss here at Gardens Oval. It hasn't been a happy hunting ground for the reigning champs. And they go into a match-up next week against Tiwi that's now shaping up to be a really interesting clash as well. That one will be TIO Stadium at 2 p.m. next Saturday. And as for the Wanderers, they've got a 7 p.m. blockbuster against Nightcliff, who now are not too far away from each other on the ladder. And yeah, what a win for the Wanderers. Well, it's something that not many predicted coming here tonight, but a few laid outs for the Saints of Connor West and Dylan Land certainly didn't hinder them. They certainly weren't at their best tonight on paper nor on the ground. But as far as your best players, Will, who did you like?
Yeah, look, I think for me, Cody Leggett's been a revelation since he's come into the side. Really like the game of Jack Sinclair in the middle as well, and I think Saints identified that, trying to put Kieran Parnell to him at stages throughout the game. Look, Mitch Taylor, as we said, not his best night, but led from the front as always. Max Johnson dominating the ruck and even chipped in with a goal himself. Look, for St Mary's, probably done a favour by the scoreline there. 20 scoring shots to 14. Wanderers certainly seem like the better side on the night, and you'd argue they could have been 2 or 3 more goals ahead, and that'd be a fair scoreboard result, but they'll take this in, and as you say, waiting on results from the rest of the weekend, but they could go into a mouth-watering clash next week against Nightcliff.
Yeah, they could. Showed a lot of heart tonight, the Wanderers. They have the last month of footy, to be honest. They have claimed the biggest scalp so far of season 2024-25, knocking off the reigning champ St Mary's here at Gardens Oval. Wanderers winning 10-10-70, defeating St Mary's 8-6-54. It's been a pleasure here with you, Will, on a Friday night. I've been Lockie Humphrey. I've been joined by Will Zwar. Cheers for joining in. We'll catch you very soon for more NT coverage tomorrow here in Darwin. Thanks for joining in. We'll see you later.